Healing emotional wounds in your relationship to break free from addiction. Addiction is often a way of coping with pain, and that pain usually comes from emotional wounds that haven't been healed. Whether these wounds come from past relationships, childhood trauma, or struggles within your current relationship, they can fuel the addiction cycle and make it hard to break free. Today, I'm going to talk about how to recognize and start healing the emotional wounds that are keeping you or your partner trapped in unhealthy patterns. Once you begin the healing process, you'll find it easier to move forward, both in your relationship and in your journey to overcoming addiction. Recognizing emotional wounds in your relationship. The first step in healing emotional wounds is recognizing them. Many of us carry emotional scars from past experiences, whether it's a painful breakup, feelings of abandonment, or unresolved trauma from our childhood. These wounds often surface in our relationships through conflict, emotional distance, or patterns of avoidance. Have you noticed that certain arguments with your partner seem to trigger a deep emotional reaction in you? Or that you or your partner turn to unhealthy behaviors like substance use, avoidance, or withdrawal? These old wounds are touched. These are signs that there are unresolved issues beneath the surface, and they're playing a role in both the relationship and any addictive behaviors. In the cycle of addiction we've talked about before, the process starts with an emotional wound. This is where it all begins. The wound leads to discomfort, which triggers a craving for something that will temporarily numb the pain. But unless we address the root of that wound, we'll keep turning to unhealthy coping mechanisms to escape it. How to start healing emotional wounds. So, how do you begin healing these wounds? The first step is acknowledgement. Being honest with yourself about where the pain is coming from. This can be hard, especially if it's something you've buried or avoided for years. But until you recognize the wound, you can't begin to heal it. Start by asking yourself, what unresolved pain from my past might be showing up in my current relationship? It might be feelings of unworthiness, fear of abandonment, or unresolved anger. Write these things down, even if it's hard to admit. Acknowledging them is the first step towards healing. The next step is communication. Once you've recognized the emotional wounds, it's important to open up to your partner about them. It can be tough because it requires vulnerability, but it's also essential for moving forward. Let your partner know what triggers these wounds and work together to find ways to support each other through the healing process. Healing together and building emotional resilience. Healing emotional wounds isn't something you have to do alone. In fact, working together as a couple can strengthen your relationship and help you both break free from the addiction cycle. When you and your partner commit to being honest, vulnerable, and supportive, you can create a safe space for healing. Support, maybe it's setting aside time for regular check-ins where you talk openly about how you're feeling emotionally. Or maybe it's seeking professional help, like couples therapy or individual therapy, to work through the deeper wounds that are harder to address on your own. By healing together, you not only break free from the old patterns, but you also build a foundation of trust, emotional intimacy, and resilience. This will help both of you stay strong in the face of future challenges, and it can create a powerful shift away from addiction and toward a healthier, more connected life. Healing emotional wounds is a crucial part of breaking the addiction cycle, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. In the next video, I'll be diving into specific, actionable tips to help stop using substances like kratom, THC, nicotine, and alcohol. These substances often become crutches when we're dealing with emotional pain. But together, we'll explore how to let go of them and take back control of your life. If you're ready to take the next step, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. What emotional wounds are you and your partner working through right now? And how are you supporting each other? Let's start the conversation. Thank you and take care.